County Regional Rail Authority Management Committee to order, and we'll note that all members are present and accounted for. And we'll go ahead and jump right into this here, which is item number 2, the budget update. Dee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Dee Goodman, Executive Director of Anoka County Regional Rail. I bring before you the budget update for the year. I just wanted to, and it's in your Dropboxes and up on the screen, is an exhibit of our budget and how it's listed. This is for 2021. I've made some adjustments for it, so as you look through the spreadsheet and as you scroll down, you will see, oops, I can do that here. As we scroll down, you can see one of the items that is highlighted is the item B, the $2,078,956. This is our debt service payment that we need to pay every year. And then if you go down a little farther under special projects, I did update both B, property maintenance for rail authority, I put it to 0, as well as the admin land assessments. Because we no longer own property, we shouldn't have to be paying any of those 2 items. So I did adjust the budget for those items. What I'm looking for you is just where you would like me to head for 2021 and what you would like me to do with the budget. I do know that Met Council has come forward and said that they will be raising our budget from last year. We had in the $6.172 million for the operating costs for North Star for the North Star. And in 2021, they will be putting it up for the 3.15% increase, which is what they are allowed to do. And that puts it at $6.367 million. And so that's what I have for you.
Okay, so it should be noted that we're in discussion right now with them as it relates to the expenses on North Star. North Star is down 97%, and I think the average ride subsidy is around $500 some per rider right now, one way. So we've had some preliminary telephone conversations with the chair of the Met Council, and we're, I think, awaiting ongoing discussions as to how that's going to play out with contributions to the operating costs. I know there's discussions with BNSF about what can be potentially reduced so that we're not continuing, or they're not continuing to pay BNSF operators to operate a train that's obviously not running with very many riders on it. So more to come on that part as far as those negotiations go. Dee, as far as the NCDA budget, the $2 million for debt service, what do you have a dollar amount on the balance of that?
I don't.
That was 30 million or
It
something.
was 30 million.
To begin with.
We're about, I want to say, since we refinanced it, 8 to 10 years into it.
Okay. Well, we'll try and get that to members here. We're actively trying to pay that one down here as fast as possible. It should be noted that the levy is going down on this, and that's a good thing. We are taking $152,000 out of reserves, and in our reserves we have approximately 13 million left in reserves. Okay, so a very healthy balance on reserves. The one question I did have is on the $35,000 for the multimodal facility development, TOD professional services. That's, I'm assuming, dollars available in the need, in case we need it. We're not paying that out necessarily.
Right. This is just a hold for that. If we don't need it, what happens is it just rolls through to the balance at the bottom and then into the next year.
Do we anticipate anything on that?
I don't see any projects. Now that CTIB has gone away, we've been using money in a little bit different way, so we really could take that item out of there also, if you'd like.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Do we have any knowledge of what the transportation tax is coming in as? Are we way off because of COVID? I mean, we're 6+ months into this now. We should have some idea from min revenue how far off we're going to be
Yes. So in speaking with County Administrator Sivaraja, I believe we are about the same or a little bit ahead so far this year. And so there's no downshift in it as of right now.
Surprising.
It is. It is very surprising.
Thank you.
And then also, as it relates to the North Star bus, the commuter bus that we had an arrangement with NCDA on, we're paying right now $5,000 annually, and that ends as of this year.
One more year after this year.
One more year after this
Yes.
year. And was the discussion that they were actually looking for less than that based on?
They actually, yes. So I did have a conference call with them a few weeks ago. We set ours at a standard of $5,000 a year, so ours won't be going down. But Met Council in St. Cloud has made a decision, and because it's run by buses, they can control it a little bit more, and they have reduced costs going into 2021. So all the other members did see a reduction in their ask for 2021.
So we may see a reduction in the 5,000?
I don't think so. We said
Oh,
we
I
were
see.
going to pay $5,000 no matter
see.
what for 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
And Mr. Chair,
I'm sorry, Commissioner West?
How's the ridership on that?
That's also low. Because it connects with the North Star, and the North Star has very few trips being offered right now, so it's very low.
Commissioner Schulte?
I was just going to say, when we crafted that deal to close out the NCDA partnership and to step back from that, that 5,000, as we tapered back to 5,000 a year, really seemed like a good plan. And I know the other counties involved in the Met Council were paying considerably more than that. So even though they have a reduced cost share, it's still way, way higher than Anoka County's 5,000.
I'm assuming that they're paying a lot for services that aren't necessarily being maximized either, as we are on the North Star.
Right.
Yeah, the interesting part is, you look at the COVID, and you look at silver linings, and you consider the fact that a lot of people were required to look at, working from home as a option to try and avoid spreading a virus. And lo and behold, productivity went through the roof, and people are saying, well, this is a great option. And so coming out of COVID, let's assume we come out of this and you can go back to the normal. Will people still be working from home is the question, and will the ridership still be down significantly? And I think that's an important discussion with our Met Council partners, that this may not be the best option moving forward. It may be more of a bus type of scenario that is more flexible, utilizing the same transit hubs, but instead of train, maybe more of a bus line. So,
Mr. Chair.
yes.
To that point, a number of people that rode the North Star rode it all the way to Minneapolis for their jobs. Most of those people are now working from home, as we know. And not to mention the turmoil that's taken place in Minneapolis is causing a number of these businesses to rethink their location, their main campus location. So they may be moving. So there may not be much demand for a North Star commuter train in the future. This may be much better served with intermittent buses or scheduled buses that can be added to or subtracted from when the conditions call for it. So I mean, it's right now, I can't think of anybody I know that wants to go into Minneapolis right now. Most people attempt to avoid it, not just for COVID reasons, but for the turmoil that's taking place there. And who knows how long that lasts. If they can get that under control in short order and turn that city around, that would be great, because it is nice to have a large central city not far away that can be an economic hub. But in the environment we're in right now, Minneapolis and St. Paul are not performing at that level.
So the question I'd have for the members on the management committee here is, do you want to retain the $35,000 that we have in the TOD professional services, multimodal facility development under special projects 4, line item C? Or do we consider that, I think what we've seen in the past is more of a function of a city, that the cities will undertake those developments, and then if it happens to be county land, then they contact us for sale of land, as Coon Rapids had done in the past, or or perhaps it's, or perhaps we're notified through TIF, they're gonna make a TIF district around this, or whatever the case may be, but I'm not sure from a county standpoint that we're necessarily utilizing those type of dollars or pursuing those type of projects. Commissioner Schulte.
I'm assuming this is just a carry forward. Every year we have this as a line item in the budget. And I don't recall us spending it very often. I would agree that it could be pulled out of that line item. And if something came up where we needed to spend money in that category, it could come out of reserves. I don't think it needs to be a line item in the budget. I concur.
Mr.
Yes.
I agree with Commissioner Schulte.
So Dee, if you want to prepare that then for
You bet.
removal,
Sure.
and so we've had about 35, 45, about $40,000 coming out of this budget this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if there's no further discussion on the budget, this will be forwarded to
It will come to the
regional rail
Regional
meeting on the
Rail meeting.
22nd.
Yes,
Which it was rescheduled to.
yes.
Okay, and we will look forward to seeing that. Item 3 is nothing under other that I'm aware of. Item 4 is public comment, where due to the fact that the public's not able to be here, they can send in emails and pose questions. And have we received any? Okay. No public comment at this time. They can always email them in, and we'll cover it at the next meeting if they have questions. More than happy to do that. So, if there is nothing else to come before the regional rail meeting, budget meeting, we will stand adjourned. Thank you.